ओके, सो वाई डेमोक्रेसी में कॉन्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, एक्चुअली व्हाट आर द फॉल्ट्स यू में से इन डेमोक्रेसी, क्या चीज़ें एडवांटेजेस हैं, क्या चीज़ें डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं डेमोक्रेसी की। लीडर्स कीप चेंजिंग इन अ डेमोक्रेसी लीडिंग टू इनस्टेबिलिटी। उसमें क्या होता है, डेमोक्रेसी में लीडर्स जो है वो लगातार पार्टी को चेंज करते रहते हैं और जिसकी वजह से इन स्टेबिलिटी रहती है पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज में, मतलब अस्थिरता रहती है। कई बार गवर्नमेंट जो है वो बनती है, फिर टूट जाती है, फिर गवर्नमेंट फेल हो जाती है, फिर गवर्नमेंट बनती है, तो इन दैट इलेक्शंस इज अकर, उसके इलेक्शंस होते हैं एंड दैट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सपेंसेस। डेमोक्रेसी इज ऑल अबाउट पॉलिटिकल कॉम्पिटिशन। डेमोक्रेसी क्या है, पॉलिटिकल कॉम्पिटिशन एंड पावर प्ले है, लिविंग नो स्कोप ऑफ मॉरलिटी। इसमें किसी भी प्रकार की मॉरलिटी नहीं बरती जाती है। इट मीन्स एनी हाउ द कैंडिडेट्स वांट्स टू विन द इलेक्शन, they even use some wrong practices also to win the election. Third, many people have to be consulted in a democracy that leads to delay. What happens in democracy, a lot of people have been discussed, बहुत सारे लोगों से डिस्कशन किया जाता है, if a government wants to take any decisions and all, so for that sometimes or maximum times it takes a lot of time to take decision, है ना। These are the faults we are reading of democracy. इलेक्टेड लीडर्स डू नॉट नो द बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ पीपल। जो इलेक्टेड लीडर्स होते हैं उनको लोगों के इंटरेस्ट के बारे में नहीं पता होता है, रिजल्टिंग इन बैड डिसीजन, और इसीलिए डिसीजंस भी गलत आते हैं। डेमोक्रेसी लीड्स टू करप्शन सिंस इट इज बेस्ड ऑन इलेक्टोरल कॉम्पिटिशन। क्योंकि इसमें इलेक्टोरल कॉम्पिटिशन होता है, वोटिंग्स होती है, तो इसमें क्या होता है, करप्शन बहुत ज़्यादा ऐड होता है। कई बार मनी एंड मसल्स पावर, पैसा लोग लेते हैं वोट देने के लिए, है ना। ऑर्डिनरी पीपल डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज गुड फॉर दैम, दे शुड नॉट डिसाइड एनीथिंग। जो ऑर्डिनरी लोग हैं उनको ये भी नहीं पता होता कि उनके लिए क्या ठीक है, व्हाट इज गुड फॉर दैम, सो व्हाट दे डू, दे शुड नॉट डिसाइड एनीथिंग। इसलिए उनको डिसीजन का कोई हक नहीं होना चाहिए, बिकॉज दे आर if suppose the ordinary people, in the sense if we talk about the people who are living in backward areas or the poor, so what the poor wants, some only the food, है ना, 2 times food and little good facilities. And if any candidate goes there and offer these things, so they get ready to cast their vote to the particular leader, whether the leader is corrupt, whether that leader is, if we take an example of the Delhi government, Arvind Kejriwal, he is not a good leader according to me, and last year he had formed the government on some other issues, like he was talking about the development of Delhi and all, and this time what he had done, he had done the electricity free, water free there. So these things have been done free for 3 or 4 months. People got mad and they gave their vote to him, and he again formed his government. So sometimes some people do not know about this. अब है क्या, from these arguments, in arguments we can see that democracy of the kind we see may not be the real form of government. जिस तरीके से हम डेमोक्रेसी को देखते हैं, जरूरी नहीं कि वो वैसी ही हो। जैसे हमने ऊपर आर्गुमेंट पढ़े तो इससे हमें पता लगता है कि डेमोक्रेसी हर समय सही नहीं हो सकती। However, we will see if democracy is better than other form of government that are there for us to choose from. तो बट ये भी चीज़ें हैं फिर कि we don't have any other options also, because other form of government are not as good as the democracy is. तो फिर we are compelled to choose the democratic option, है ना। अब देखिए, क्योंकि इसके फेवर में भी बहुत सारे आर्ग्यूमेंट दिए गए हैं। A democratic government is a better government. अब ये बताया गया कि why the democratic government is better. A democratic government is a better government because it is more accountable form of government. क्योंकि ये answerable है, it is answerable to us. If government launch any policy, so government is answerable to us. Why have they launched it? We are having right to know it. So because of that, it is a transparency of the government also, you may say. Democracy improves the quality of decision making. Because of democracy, what happens? The quality of decision making is also maintained. Suppose, as we have read, that it takes a lot of time to take the decisions in democratic government. If any bill becomes law, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of processes. But that process or that law is, because it is being discussed with so many people, so that is not wrong. That does not remain. It fulfills the need of many of the people. So that is why it is said, might be in democratic government, it can be taken time to take the decisions, but the decisions favors maximum number of people. Democracy provides a method to deal with differences and conflicts. Whatever the conflicts are there in your country, और conflict में लड़ाई झगड़े होते हैं, ठीक है, और differences जो भी हैं, असमानताएं हैं, अलग अलग लोग कास्ट के रहते हैं, सो इन सब के मैथड्स इनको डील करती है डेमोक्रेसी। Means to say democracy fulfills the need of everyone. Like if you talk about the present government, as the Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of our country, normally people say that it works for Hindus. है ना? It is a Hindu party, but it is not so. It, whatever the policies comes, they come for everyone, not for particular religion, not for particular caste. है ना? They come for everyone, everybody enjoys. Suppose Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister and we have opted him as a voter, but 40% people might not have voted to him, but still he is the Prime Minister of them also. Are you getting my word? So we can take an example. Suppose in our family, our father is there, one or two child. If there are three, four brothers, one or two, या फिर one sometimes gets against to his father, but it doesn't mean that he is not the son of his father. Are you getting my words? The same thing. It is. Next, democracy enhances the dignity of citizen. It means if you are following the democratic rules, or in your country there is a democracy, then your dignity means respect. Your respect has to be maintained. It's a responsibility of the government that look after your respects. Means to say, for that, how the government sees your interest or sees your respect by making your rights, by making you are having some rights, है ना? If anybody denies your right, you are having the court that works as a guardian. Guardian, you understand the meaning of guardian? Suppose your parents like, है ना? Suppose your brother or anybody could be. Suppose anything wrong. Suppose I am speaking you something negatively, or some rough word I spoke to you. Your guardians are there. You just simply go and complain them, so that you want a solution from that. Either they come to the schools and talk to the teacher, or you will be anyhow you want the solution of that particular problem. The same thing, our court judiciary works as a guardians. If anybody violates your rights, कोई आपके rights को violate करता है, तो you are free to go there. Does it happen? It normally happens, है ना? But what are the rights of the question arise here? Suppose you are having a right to speak, no problem. But right to speak, it means you have to speak the words that should not hurt others. If you are speaking the word that you like and other is getting hurt, it means you are denying, you are violating his rights. Because he is also having the right to freedom, right to speech, right to live with dignity in the country. आप उनकी रिस्पेक्ट, आप अपने राइट्स का यूज कर रहे हो, बट इनके राइट को खराब कर रहे हो, तो दैट इज इन दैट केस यू आर डूइंग क्राइम. That your right becomes crime. Okay. Next, democracy is better than other form of government because it allows us to correct our own mistakes. It means it gives an opportunity to us to correct our mistakes. How? Suppose in this elections we have nominated the candidates of BJP, and BJP has formed the government, and that government is not functioning well. Next 5 years we see, and in the next election we are having the right to change the government. We can cast our vote to someone else. That is the freedom we have got, and that is the freedom only we got in democratic rights, democratic government. Wherever the democratic government is running, there we get this type of facility. Clear? अब है border meaning of democracy. Democracy का थोड़ा border चौड़ा, मतलब थोड़ा deep. In this chapter, the meaning of democracy is discussed in respective sense. Students get to learn about democracy as a form of government. ठीक है, जैसे कि हमने पढ़ा है गवर्नमेंट का रूप होता है, thus helping them to identify a clear set of minimal features of democracy. इतना ही है इधर. This much only. It means here the Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha, and so many government machinery works, but they all work to all welfare for the people of our country. India is having the largest democracy of the world. It's not easy to be the prime minister or any other political head in the country. Okay. Thank you very much. This was your chapter.